Audience members, do you bleed? You will. I just say that. So we just saw Batman v Superman, the movie. Well, if you don't know what it is, it's the movie where Superman destroyed the city in his last film, and so Batman is like angry, and then they fight. So I guess that's basically sums up the plot. So, Pop, what do you think of the Batman v Superman?
Well, everyone watching right now is like, that's Pop? Because I'm wearing glasses.
Yeah.
So, you're unrecognizable when you just put on a pair of glasses. As we learned from Clark Kent. Alright, so, the last half is very fun. That's about it.
You don't like the rest before that?
And not really. The rest is, just mediocre.
Yeah.
And also, trim it down to 2 hours.
It was 2 hours, like 2 hours.
It was 2.5.
Oh, 2.5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I knew it was 2.5, but I guess it's like two something hours. But yeah. I liked it. Definitely better this time because the first time I saw it, I guess maybe I was because when I saw it, it was like sometime like right after I saw some reviews, which is kind of bad. I don't think I'm gonna do that again. I mean, it was just because I was nervous about this, and I saw like one. The first it's just because I was nervous, so I decided to watch a review for it, and I really shouldn't have done that because it kind of did make me go into it kind of thinking too much, I guess, and about it, and I didn't enjoy it the first time. This time, I did kind of let my ambitions aside and just kind of thought about it this time, and I did enjoy it a lot more. But I still don't think it's a great film. I think it has problems, like a scene that I'm not going to talk about until because it's a spoiler till later. Not the big spoiler, but just a spoiler of the film that I'll talk about maybe a little later. But in that, yeah, I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it, but it was definitely better than like I've seen worse films even this year.
Yeah.
Even this year, but.
Right, so a lot of people are saying that this movie is overcrowded. I think the only thing I agree with there is that I think Wonder Woman was kind of shoehorned in at the end.
I didn't. I actually felt I mean, yeah, her parts when she was at the party and stuff were kind of pointless. Like she just kind of stole and I guess she didn't learn anything from the flash drive, and she kind of gave him. She's like, I just let you share it. Like she didn't stay. Like I want to understand. Like maybe if she took the flash drive and took the part about her out, and maybe Batman figured it out or something, and then or she decrypted it and he undecrypted it or something like that. I guess. But it's just other than that, I felt. Especially because she did help out with the battle, and I think if it was just Superman and Batman, if Superman was trying to get the crystal, Batman would probably just been dead already. So I think she kind of did help a lot, especially in the last battle. But for the most part, I did feel I don't know. I felt for the most part she was fine, and I guess it was just most of her other stuff in the middle is just said that she's in it. So when she comes up, you don't. I think it would have felt more shoehorned in if she just sort of showed up at the end,
Yeah.
like and helped them. But they did kind of tease that she was already there, so I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Though I guess I didn't get it when he stole the information from Lex, and she was just, why did she stole it from him? Why did she stand there and look at him? Did she want him to, I guess because she was sharing it, I guess she wanted him to know that she took it, so they could meet later or something like that, and she'd give it back, I guess, but it was still kind of weird. But,
Right.
so what'd you think of Jesse Eisenberg as Lex?
He was totally hammy.
I thought he was all right in his first couple scenes. He was all right, but then like after the red capes are coming, he just got kind of silly.
Yeah.
After that, but before that, I thought he was fine. Like he was kind of he didn't. It was before he didn't do any of the like he does later. He does a lot of twitching after, but
Yeah.
it's just before that. It was. I thought he was fine. Like I said, just up until the red capes are coming speech. Then I was like, okay, now he's kind of a goofball.
Yeah.
Then he was just. So, also let's talk about some other actors. What do you think of
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck as Batman? What do you think?
I thought he was good. I mean, everyone was dreading the idea of him being Batman before
I wasn't.
now.
I was a little nervous at first. I was like, "What?" Because I didn't see that coming really when I first heard it. But the more I thought about it, the more I was okay with it. But sorry,
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was
And
very good. I thought he was probably one of the best things in this. Keep going. Is there something else about it? I'm sorry.
what I think that's for the most part all the all the new actors we
So,
got.
and since we never
I mean,
reviewed Superman, what do you think of little Henry Cavill as Superman? Like I brought little Legos. What do you think of Henry Cavill as Superman?
um,
Because we never really reviewed Man of Steel. So, what did you always
no, we
like?
never did.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel at all,
I liked it, but
except for like the last moment. I actually was one of the people who did like how the scene played out when he snapped Zod's neck. At least right before that, though, you're just like, you know, those people can easily escape. I mean,
yeah,
even
well,
Batman could have just like shielded his eyes.
Superman, you mean, not
Superman,
Batman.
yeah,
But
Superman.
like the thing is about that, it was more about that, not that he couldn't, those people couldn't duck out of the way. It's just it was more about, besides Zod probably could, he wasn't really holding him that great. He still could have moved or something like that. Um, but
Yeah,
I think it was mostly just that Zod wasn't gonna stop. It was mostly I mean, he wasn't gonna stop with those people. He's probably gonna kill a bunch of other people, and
yeah,
there's really was no way to like really stop him because there's no prison, no fortress could hold the guy. Like nothing could probably hold him. He would probably break out of anything they built because they didn't have kryptonite at the time, or at least they didn't know what it was or how to build it. So he would have. A lot of people probably would have died, and Superman would have been at fault there. So it kind of makes sense that he it's more about that why he killed them than those people because of course they could
yeah. I
have
know it was.
ducked.
So, other than that, though, I wasn't a fan of Man of Steel, so I
What do you? I'm
wasn't.
talking about what do you think of Henry Cavill himself, but okay, go. Sorry.
So, so I was kind of. I'm one of the ones who wasn't like totally anticipating this film. Watch Mojo listed this as the most anticipated film of the year, and it has a 30%. So,
Well, it is. It makes sense that it is the most anticipated because people have been waiting for a Batman
oh
Superman
yeah,
movie forever, so it makes sense. But what were you
yeah.
gonna say?
So, what I was looking forward to, like the only thing, is that I was wondering how is Batman going to go up against Superman, and it does not disappoint in that regard.
Yeah. Oh, but so how do you think of Henry Cavill himself as Superman, is acting wise,
Um,
or
it was fine.
what about
It,
I know you already said that you thought she was suited Wonder Woman 8, but
yeah.
what did you think of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, like the acting wise? Did you think she was good or bad, or because I've already seen this, so I liked her.
Well, she
I
only
like
has
Henry
a few
Cavill.
lines, so I don't really know what to think of her yet.
I like so far. I like her. I like her. Like even though she doesn't talk, there's some pretty cool like emotional scenes. Like there's a scene where she's fighting Doomsday. If you've already seen the second trailer's already dropped, and everyone already knows Doomsday's in that darn thing, so it's like it's not really a spoiler. But I like when she's fighting Doomsday, and there's a scene where she smiles, like even though she's like she's enjoying herself. I like that, like that she actually does have some cool like good like non-talking stuff. She does that pretty well, and I do think that she's definitely a better choice than uh a lot of people wanted what's her name, Gina Carano as Wonder Woman. I know that, and Gina Carano, I like Gina Carano. She's awesome, but she's not a good talking actions. Like she was good in Haywire. She had good like acting, fighting wise and stuff. But when it came to like talking acting, she's not that great. So I'm think Gal Gadot is going to be pretty good, and I'm excited for the solo Wonder Woman film. I think because I do think maybe the weakest thing of this is probably Zack Snyder. He's probably the weakest thing about this because I really don't think Zack Snyder is that great of a director, and I don't know why. Because he's basically they're trying to turn him into the Kevin Feige of the DC cinematic universe. He's the guy who's going to be in charge, managing everyone, and I don't know if that's a good idea. I think they need someone like Feige, who's maybe a producer. I mean, who's also a fan too, who can kind of manage stuff or whatever. I know they were thinking of Dan Lin, who produced the Lego Movie and the Sherlock Holmes movies, but I don't know if I really want them to go with Zack Snyder. But though supposedly there's not only Zack Snyder, there's also Jeff Johns, who's a writer at DC, who's also kind of in charge of the DC universe as well. And there's like some other guy, I forgot his name, maybe Charles Roven, I think, or somebody else is. But so were you gonna say what else do you want to add or?
Um, I don't know. Pretty much all I gotta say is that it's a well-oiled action flick that you'll probably forget about the next day.
I don't
Well,
think so.
actually, you won't because it's Batman and
I'm pretty
Superman.
sure
It's
people will be
DC
talking about
comic.
this movie for a while,
Oh yeah, they will.
at
Yeah,
least until like like Allegiant. I'm not saying Allegiant's bad or anything. I'm just saying, but like Allegiant. No one's really gonna be talking about Allegiant that much
Yeah.
because it didn't really do anything that really made people go, "Oh, we need to
Yeah.
talk about this."
Yeah.
It just kind of made people. I think have already said what they wanted to say about Allegiant already when it first
Yeah.
came out.
And considering how it lost the #1 spot in the box office to Zootopia,
Yeah,
Zootopia is #1 up there for the third week in a row.
just like Deadpool. That Deadpool was #1 for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So but I'm glad for Zootopia though.
Yeah.
But so what'd you think of the music by Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL? Because this is actually kind of a combined effort by both of them. Did you like it or?
Uh, didn't really notice it that much.
I did. I liked. I especially noticed Wonder Woman's had a kind of a theme. I kind of like that. I noticed that especially. But yeah, I think there was some pretty good. I actually noticed a lot of music in this. Mainly that's because I have the soundtrack and I listened to a little bit of it, probably. But I actually really liked it though. Yeah. So if I also want to add something, what do you think of Doomsday, the big hulking monster?
Hulking monster was that's pretty close.
Well, I mean that's what Doomsday was though. Like I remember, like a lot of fans aren't gonna like. There's a big twist in this. Do you know how to do that thing where some people know how to do this thing where they can tell you what part you should skip to skip the spoilers or something like that? Do you know how to do that, or you can probably look it up?
I might just add the time and
Yeah.
on the
Yeah, that's what I meant.
yeah.
Just add the time on the thing so people know.
Yeah.
So I guess the big thing that happens. This is a spoiler. Just he'll do a thing, I guess, to tell you when to skip, so you know, so you can get to our grading or whatever. Superman dies in this, which is because it's based on the comic, Death of Superman, where Superman goes up against Doomsday and they both die.
Oh.
It was, yeah, that's what happened, and a lot of fans are not gonna like it, and they're gonna whine. There's the same thing with Batman killing in this movie too. I'll get to that maybe a little later, but when Superman's death, a lot of fans are gonna complain and go, it's because I've already seen like Angry Joe. He's a video game reviewer, but sometimes he reviews movies. He reviewed this, and in his spoiler discussion, he whined way too much about Superman's death, and he thought it was too early. Do you agree with that? Do you think it's too early, or
Well,
do you
he's
not
gonna
care?
come back. I mean, the very last split second of the film
Yeah.
kind of alludes to that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense that they would kill him off right as the Justice League is starting.
Yeah, because I'm actually like that. I'm fine with that they killed him in this. I'm not. I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's too early. Like he talks about it like they haven't like they blew their load too fast. Like how's that gonna it doesn't it's not like he fought like it's not like the Avengers fighting Thanos in their first movie or something like that. It's not like their equivalent is Darkseid. They're gonna fight him in Justice League Part 2 or whatever. Like that didn't like if Darkseid was in this and they fought him and they beat him and he died or something, then I probably would have been like, oh, they can't go on from this. Nope.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I was fine. But I'm talking about when I was talking about what do you think of him, like how he looked? Do you think he looked stupid, or what do you think of him?
He looked kind of
Dumb.
Yeah,
I thought his
kinda
second
dumb.
form was a little better when he changed a bit. He did look a little better, but he still actually looked a lot better in Smallville.
He actually started to look more like the Abomination than the Hulk.
Yeah, but I said a hulking monster. I didn't say he looked like
Yeah.
a Hulk. But yeah, but he was kind of like the Hulk in a way. But he just, yeah, I thought though they did kind of turn him into the Hulk in Smallville, where he was a guy who turned into the Doomsday. They did kind of turn him into the Hulk in that. Except I actually liked Doomsday a lot in Smallville better because he was actually completely practical in this. In this, they did sort of use some practical effects. Because I have the art book, and they did use some practical effects to create the way he looks. They used like a clay model or whatever, and then but he was mostly for the most part was like CG and all that. So it was just kind of, but I'm fine with Superman's death. I didn't feel they blew anything out of, though I felt it was fine. The one spoiler, this is another spoiler that did bug me though, was the email scene where she gets an email and she looks at all the pictures of all the Justice League. I'm like, oh god, that is so stupid. But just like that's like because that was the only like we need a scene where that was basically the scene from Avengers, the tub and the rubber dub dub Thor in the tub scene. There was like a tie into Thor Ragnarok. Just like sorry, that's why I said that. But yeah, it was just that scene was just really just forced in there. Like we need a scene that introduces all the Justice League members. Like it was. I felt that was completely forced. Also, the scene where the Flash shows up and goes, it's about Lois Lane. That was kind of dumb too. So
Is Chris Pine playing Green Lantern?
no, he's. You mean the scene where he was with her in the flashback scene? No, he's Steve Trevor. He's Wonder Woman's first love.
Oh,
Who I guess dies because because the Wonder Woman movie is going to take place in like the old time or whatever,
hmm.
where Steve Trevor is or whatever, because that's what it's going to take, because Wonder Woman can live for a long time or whatever, and that's why they have his picture, because he's going to be in the Wonder Woman movie. But yeah, basically in the email scenes, it was like they showed Aquaman doing weird stuff, Flash saving some guy, and Cyborg being built or whatever. And it was kind of I just felt it was kind of forced in there and was crammed in there. It's dumb, but yeah, I'm still excited to see what they do next, because this movie is a bit kind of clustered, messed up, because they're trying to add all the stuff in here to get the Justice League movie going. So I'm hoping in the next one, now that they've got everything kind of set up a bit, maybe they can finally make a cohesive film or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is Zack Snyder, so you don't know. We never know, because Man of Steel actually didn't feel that bad. Like, was not that. I mean, it wasn't like all over the place with its story like this one was.
Two small comparisons I'll make between this and Man of Steel. This one has just about the same amount as Jesus symbolism.
I didn't.
Is it a coincidence that this movie was released on Good Friday?
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't. I don't think they really planned that. I just guess it was not an accident.
I don't know.
But maybe they added this.
Right.
Maybe they added that stuff in there because it's Good Friday. So if Christian people are wanting to see it, they'd go, "Hey, I kind of feel at home here."
Yeah. And then the other thing is, this movie doesn't have any really in-your-face product placement like Man of Steel did. At least none that I noticed. So
there was the Jolly Rancher scene where he shoved Jolly Rancher in the guy's mouth, and,
right, yeah.
There was also I believe there was another scene, but I missed it. I don't really use. That's why the product placement scenes never really bother me, because I never usually notice that stuff unless it's really dumb, like in Crazy Nights, or even in World War Z. I kind of noticed that where he's like, "Oh, Pepsi."
And there was also, of course, the Jeep that Ben Affleck is driving, but the only reason I noticed that was because of the ad right before this movie.
Yeah, especially because I felt that was kind of unnecessary having him drive. Like, couldn't he just be like, maybe he's just leaving the building or whatever, and then it's like, something's happening or something like that, instead of just, I have to drive to, like, I'm John Cusack from 2012 to the area.
Yeah.
It just felt that was kind of tacked on. But, I thought there was another thing I could talk about, but another spoiler anyway. It's not like, but I guess not. But I felt, I guess if I want to talk some other things, I guess Diane Lane and was kind of, the mother was kind of not that useful, except for she had one scene where she kind of used the "people fear what they don't understand" line again. Dang it! They always fear what they don't understand, son. You owe them nothing. Like, okay. And then there's like I mean, Lois Lane, I actually felt she was a bit more useful than most people thought she was. Like, some people complained about how useful and thought she was kind of useless. I felt she was a little useful. She did help a bit, because she did. I mean, if she wasn't going after the spear, I don't think anyone would have. I think they completely forgot about the spear. Even Batman, I think, kind of forgot about it because he was too busy running away from Doomsday, going, grab a hook. And then he kind of forgot about it. So, because Lois Lane was the only one trying to get it, while they were busy punching. And I remember one thing I definitely do not agree with most people is Jeremy Jahns in his review said they destroyed more than Man of Steel. I don't think so. For the most part, Batman even said they were in a place that was basically abandoned, and they were mostly fighting there. I mean, there was a couple parts where they did go out and they did destroy Superman's thing or whatever, his statue, but that's about it. And Jesse Eisenberg, the red capes are coming. And there were some pretty good visual scenes in this movie too. I liked some of the visuals. Like, I loved the scene in the with Holly Hunter in the place when it blows up or whatever. That was cool. That was a really cool sequence.
Yeah. I thought the 3D was actually really good too.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I first saw this, I was there was parts where I forgot it was in 3D. I'm like, man, that guy looks like he's coming off the screen. And I think I'm hallucinating. Oh wait, it's watching 3D. Oh, I guess there are some parts I didn't like. I didn't the bat jump scare thing was kind of
Oh
unnecessary.
yeah, that.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne has a nightmare about like going to his dad's grave inside the Wayne Museum, I guess. And I guess it's supposed to be like a zombie or something bursting out of the wall.
It was a monster, bat monster.
I could barely tell.
But
Okay.
another thing, when there's a couple like future dreams, because they're supposed to be like the future, because I know, I mean, I believe Batman would dream about Superman as a dictator, but there's a lot of stuff that's very dark side-ish. Like there's a scene where he's looking over and you see that the Omega symbol, that's like dark side symbol, and then there's those weird flying bug creatures, those are dark sides things. So that was kind of weird, especially because there's no allude to it. It just sort of cuts to a dream. Like when did Batman fall asleep? Because he's just looking, waiting for the thing, and it's like cuts that scene. Like there's no him waiting on and falling asleep. There's nothing like that. Like at least in the Bat dream scene, he wakes up going or something like that. Like, but it's also because it's like a weird Flash dream in a dream, because the Flash shows up for a second, and goes, Batman, he's evil like you thought. It's about Lois Lane. It seems weird. But I guess I think I've talked too much now about. I mean, there's probably more I could go over. I guess if I really thought about it, like some
Yeah.
other actors I liked. But other than that, I think I've basically said it. Well, I guess another thing I could talk about is the I always thought the thing that why they're angry at Superman was always going to be the whole destruction of Metropolis, but the whole thing they were complaining about was like some desert thing. They were like, I guess they thought Superman shot a bunch of people. Like, when have you ever seen Superman use guns? Did I miss something?
Yeah.
I mean, I believe Batman. He kills a lot of people in this movie. Did you notice that?
Yeah, he does actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's kind of a hypocrite here because he's going after Superman because of all the damage
Well, yeah, because
that
Superman's like a god or something like that, and he believes he can like destroy everyone. When Batman's killing who he
well,
believes are
yeah,
criminals or something like that. But
there's that.
it
Yeah.
didn't bug me so much. I mean, most fans are complaining about it, like it's Batman's moral code. But the main reason why they changed that was because Bob Kane and Bill Finger felt he was too much like the Shadow. So like, well, let's make a change to that he doesn't kill people, because then he'd be too much like the Shadow, who's another superhero from a different comic series or whatever.
Yeah.
So they had to do that. But so I guess let's get to the final thoughts and maybe grading if you had anything to add or whatever.
Well, say if you go to it for the action, the Batman versus Superman stuff, you'll get your money's worth. Other than that, I'll just go with a C plus.
Well, I liked it a little better, but I I was really I've been waiting for like everyone else, like every comic book fan who's a fan of Superman and Batman. I've been waiting for this movie forever, and I do agree that I do think they should have done Man of Steel 2 first and then done this, or at least done a solo Batman film too,
Yeah.
but or something. But it just my problems with it is just I think that um there's two things that I think happen behind the scenes. That one, they're trying to get this Justice League thing started, so they were kind of rushing a lot of stuff. And two, I think they changed screenwriters and think in the middle of it, because David S. Goyer was writing the script, but then when Ben Affleck was added on, Ben Affleck wanted to add his screenwriter from Argo, Chris Terrio or whatever his name is. So there could have been that too. And I think another thing is too is that I think the right director probably could have found a way to make it work. And I think Zack Snyder probably isn't that guy, but I'm still gonna wait for Justice League to real before I'm like Zack Snyder's a bad idea or something like that, because I think maybe it was that, maybe because they're trying to focus on getting Justice League started, that a lot of the stuff was kind of shoehorned in and it didn't work so well. I think definitely if I see this again, if not again, but sorry, if the next one comes out and if it's still kind of weird and they're trying to set up a bunch of stuff, then yeah, probably they should probably start thinking of maybe someone else, because and even if like they're thinking about someone else already, it's too late, because they're probably have already started shooting Justice League Part 1, because they said they were going to do it right, start filming right after Batman v Superman even comes out, so it's like they probably already started by now.
Yeah.
So but I but I still hope they give we people can give maybe Zack Snyder at least one more chance. Maybe I don't think people should always start blaming him. I don't. He's not that bad of a director. I like 300 and Watchmen and stuff. So I'm looking. So I'll give it. But I guess I give this movie just a B. I liked it, but I didn't love it. I don't think it's amazing. If you're definitely, I definitely suggest seeing it if you're a big, if you've always wanted to see these two guys on screen. But just don't, if you're gonna see it, don't like go too expecting too much. Just try to go into it like expecting just you're gonna have maybe see a movie or something like that. Don't go and this movie's gonna be larger than life because you might be disappointed. So just go into it nice or whatever. So okay, let's get to trailers.
Yeah. Captain America: Civil War with Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey everyone, it's Spider-Man. You get to first see a new Spider-Man, and his first line that comes out of his mouth is "Hey everyone."
Yeah.
I like this trailer though. I like it, even though I don't feel they should have shown a second trailer. And as much as it's cool to finally see Spider-Man, I still would have liked to seen his first reveal in in the movie itself and not in the trailer. Really, it feels it's like when he finally shows up, it's like already seen it, but he still could probably do a lot more stuff. So I'm still gonna, but I'm still. Oh, sorry, you can say something.
Well, you can finish.
Oh no, I think I've.
All right. Well, I would have liked to have seen his next appearance be in Amazing Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I know that. I would have liked to have seen them continue that, but they would have just probably done some more Sinister Six alluding to stuff or whatever.
I think the third one was supposed to be him fighting the Sinister Six, because the Sinister Six spinoff was supposed to come first.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I don't.
All right. Well,
But so, what do you give it? Yes, maybe, no. Or...
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all already said yes to Civil War.
One thing I did
like the other one.
One thing I did like, someone made a joke about this. There's a scene where it's like, look at all this destruction you've done. Manhattan, this other place you destroyed, this other place you destroyed. I like how they made a joke because everyone whined about Man of Steel that he destroyed too much, that Superman was the one who put that together. Ha! See? Superman's like there just like, see, I didn't just do that bad. Look at you guys. You destroyed 3 cities. I only destroyed 1.
Yeah. All right, so we got the new Ghostbusters. Which is actually mostly the same, just a bit more of Chris Hemsworth.
Well, and there's some new jokes like there's no more the power of Patty compels you. I like the joke where she's like, is it because I'm black or a woman? I kind of like that joke because everyone right now is the biggest complaint about the new Ghostbusters. It's all female. Why? Like, so that's kind of funny. That kind of makes me laugh because of that. Like, so,
the 3D in that trailer was awesome.
Yeah, I really don't think it's as bad. Like what's his name? Angry Joe and a bunch of some of the other people who don't like the movie, except for he doesn't hate it for the women thing. They're like, the CG looks so bad. It's like, it doesn't look that bad. It looks cool actually. And like, since the trailer's in 3D, I love when the ghost comes right at you. That was really cool for the 3D especially.
Bobby Burns was another one who hated it. You haven't heard of him?
No.
He's another YouTube critic. He actually kind of looks like he could be the brother of Chloe Grace Moretz.
So what did he say? Did he not like it either?
Yeah.
I don't get some of the hate. I don't think it's that bad of a trailer. Even the first one, I feel they're not that bad of a trailer, I guess. I think it looks fine. I think it could be enjoyable. I don't know. And a lot of people still complain there's not enough jokes. Yeah, well, don't do that, because whenever they do show too many jokes, then they usually show all the best jokes in the trailer, and there's nothing surprising about anymore. When you see the movie, it's like, oh, it's just people complain. It's like people complain about this stuff, but then like Spy, a lot of people weren't looking forward to that much, and then they were surprised that it's really good. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the same. People are going to like. At least I hope it's going to be the same, and that it's going to be good, because I want this to be good. Same thing with Batman and Superman and a bunch of other stuff.
The difference with this is that it's based off of something.
Yeah, well, Batman's based on something too.
I mean that and Spy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Although Doug Walker did note that it looks more like the cartoon than the other movies.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna give it a yes, because I'm still kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah, same here.
I guess we should
So
also talk about Now You See Me. We didn't talk about that
now you
last
see me
time.
too, yeah.
Now You See Me too. We didn't talk about that when we saw Allegiant. I give that. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and say yes. I think it looks fun, except for it's a little CG heavy though. That kind of bugged me because the reason why like my favorite movie about magicians is like The Prestige is because they use real practical like real effects. I mean, and at the same time, this is a different film. That movie is about like two magicians competing, and it's sort of different. And this one's like a fun heist film anyway, so
Yeah.
it's with magicians, so it's fine. I guess it's
Actually, I think in
fine.
this one they're actually going to do real magic because of the ending of the first one, where Mark Ruffalo takes them to a place called Carousel.
Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah.
It looks. I'll give it a yes for
Yeah, I'll say yes.
even though it's from John M. Cho, who hasn't
Oh
been
yeah.
surprising me all that late. Though I've heard good things about Step Up 3, at least the effects and the stuff.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean,
Step Up 2 and 3 are worth watching for the choreography,
and
but
there's a
he.
one action scene in GI Joe Retaliation that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we have the new X-Men Apocalypse. Not a lot new in that, but yeah, there's actually there actually wasn't anything more revealed in the new Apocalypse trailer.
Yeah, I mean there was some stuff, but very briefly.
Yeah, it does look like it's gonna be
More
like
Psylocke. They showed more of Psylocke because I don't think they showed Psylocke very much in the first trailer. She was just kind of. They only showed her face, and this one actually showed her doing some stuff.
yeah, it does look like this is gonna be like on a really grand scale. It's a bunch of mutants up against a god.
And his four mutant posse.
Yeah.
Form a possum.
Four Horsemen of Apocalypse. All right,
And what else?
that's probably what they were going for. But and finally, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them from the author
Have
of
we talked
Harry
about
Potter.
Warcraft yet? Have we talked
Yeah,
about?
we talked about Warcraft before.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, we did. We the first. I think I've said this before. The first time we discussed it was Force Awakens, where I did it with
Oh,
Alex S. Well, another Alex S. And Chloe. Yeah.
okay.
All right. So Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
Looks good.
Mm.
Though they don't show much, so
Yeah.
I'm still kind of waiting. But J.K. Rowling herself is going to write the script, so that's cool.
Okay.
And I guess there's a new
so-
Harry Potter book coming out or something like that. There's new
Hmm.
Harry Potter books coming out. I'm not sure.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
yeah.
the first I heard of it. All right.
but it looks good. I like it. I think it looks interesting, even though we've barely seen anything. But I like what we've seen. The small stuff. I like that it's a teaser trailer, and I think it's a pretty effective teaser trailer. So I'm gonna go with yes. So for right now.
I'll go with maybe right now.
Mhm.
You know, fun fact. I was gonna say this earlier. You brought up Holly Hunter in this movie. Fun fact: my dad went to high school with Holly Hunter.
Holy, really? Oh, that's cool. She's a good actress. I thought she did pretty well in this film
Yeah.
too. So
Okay, so next week Everybody Wants Some is only opening in 19 theaters, so it looks like we're gonna have to wait a while for that one.
yeah, I've already
And
sent
so
Fandango and a fan alert, so it'll warn me when the movie it comes like to any theater close. Like it's at Lincoln Square, and I'm gonna hopefully try to find a way to go see it there if it does show up there.
yeah. And so this part I had to rehearse. This April Fool's Day. Same mission, same message. But this time, it's nothing personal. God's Not Dead 2, Judgment Day. Dun dun dun!
Featuring Superman. I am Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hear that, Lex Luthor? God's not dead.
I'm back, baby.
All right.
But yeah, that.
And
Okay.
we'll do it on April 2nd, so that if the movie convinces me to send a bunch of texts saying God's not dead, they won't think it's an April Fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.